is the organically to us. Cut! That's not how I wanted to say it. So, I don't want to start over. This is my point. Hold on. I know I'm not. I don't know what it is.
Oh, no!
Wait.
Cut!
Oh my gosh. See, I don't even know if I'm gonna use this footage. Oh my gosh. And now I'm holding the mic because I feel like maybe you can hear me better if it's closer to my mouth.
Stop! I've had enough!
Hold on. Cut. I am having a hard time trying to figure out what it is that I want to say. Looking at this footage of all the stuff that I filmed yesterday, I'm just not proud of it. I'm not proud of it, and I was super excited to wake up today and start editing it, but now that I'm editing it, I'm just like, don't like it, and I don't want to put out anything that I'm not proud of. And I think that's something that's super important about everyone, and that sets every person apart, whether you're an artist or you're a music artist or you're a journalist or a writer or a photographer or a content creator or an influencer or a makeup artist, just anything. I think what sets us all apart is just having things come natural to us and having things come organically, and nothing is going to be genuine if it's forced. You're going to be able to tell that it was forced. You're going to be able to tell that it's not genuine. And I didn't plan on waking up today to film this voiceover or whatever it's going to be, because I'm not quite sure yet. I woke up today excited to edit yesterday's video, and I'm just not proud of it. And so I think that's where a lot of creation can be found, is in the not knowing of what's going to happen, of not knowing what's in store. I think a lot of people get lost in comparing themselves and comparing who they are and what they've been through and their story to other people, because it looks like other people have it better than them, or things are happening faster for others than it's happening for us. And sometimes we feel left behind because someone is getting married, or someone's finally engaged, or someone's having a baby and they're starting a family, or they just got that promotion, or they just got a new car, and where we feel like we have to have all of these things by a certain time, and if not, then we're a failure. And I don't believe that that's the case whatsoever. But I'm also guilty of feeling like, well, God, why don't I have this? Or why hasn't this happened to me yet? Like, am I doing something wrong? And it's not that you're doing anything wrong, and it's not that you're behind. It's you're right where you're supposed to be. I'm smiling because I have on a little torn off piece of notepaper that says you're right where you're supposed to be, as a reminder. And I put that up maybe like a week or two ago. See that? Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think that might just be the title of this video. It's so dangerous to compare where you are at in life compared to where somebody else is at in life, because we don't know what their struggles are. And no, they might not have had the same struggles that you have, but if we all had the same struggles, life would be so meaningless. If we all had the same success stories, if we all had the same message, if we all had the same job, if we all had the same purpose, if we all had the same desires and goals, life would be so meaningless, because there would be nothing to learn from anybody. I know that it's super hard to not compare yourself to other people, especially when they do have what it is that you're wanting, or things do seem to be looking so much better for them than it is for you. I do understand that. I understand what it's like to compare. I am just as guilty for comparing my life and my story and where I am at in life with somebody else. But I'm able to share this because I'm guilty of it, and because I'm guilty of it, I've been able to reset my mind and have a different perspective of everyone has a different mission in life, and some are going to have milestones further and closer apart than the other. As cliche as it is, God truly does work in mysterious ways. Things do come when you least expect it. Sometimes it's hard to accept that you're right where you're supposed to be because it just doesn't make sense to you. But just because it doesn't make sense to you doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense to God, because God sees overall. God sees the path ahead of you when you don't. like I said previously, he's working in areas of your life where you don't even know that needs working. He's healing parts of your life that you don't even know that's being healed. That's where faith comes in. Faith is believing in something that you can't see. It's knowing that things are going to work out for the good because he says it is, whether you see it being done or not. Faith is being blind but going anyway. It's walking in the darkness. It's walking when it's foggy. It's walking out in the smoke and not knowing which way to go, but knowing that it doesn't matter which way you go because God's going to be leading the path whichever route you decide to take. He doesn't tell you, hey, Brooke, this is the plan for today. You're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you're going to do X, Y, and Z. No, he tells you where to go, even when it doesn't make sense. He's going to tell you to go somewhere, and you're not going to know the next step until you get there. And once you get there, then he'll tell you the next step. And it might take a while. It might take a few weeks. It might take a month. It might take a year. But you'll know when it's time to take that next step. And when it's time, you do it. He doesn't tell you the whole map. He makes you have faith that no matter where he's telling you to go, that you're going and you're going blindly, but you're going in faith that you are going in the direction that you're supposed to be going because God says so. God says that this is the path for you. This is the path I have designed for you. It's not going to look like my neighbors, and it's not going to look like my old bosses. It's not going to look like anybody else's path because we're all moving in blind sight. And the whole purpose of having faith is knowing that no matter where you're going in the direction that God has destined specifically for you. What I'm about to talk to you about, I think God really wants me to share this with you. I feel like it really benefits what the rest of this video is about, and it's just like having faith in God and so on and so forth. So the other night, Jason and I, we were at the park. I am sitting on the back of my Honda. I'm sitting on the trunk and I'm laying back. So my back is up against the back windshield. And all the stars, well, there wasn't a lot of stars out, but there's quite a few stars out that you can see. And I really just wanted to know that God is listening to my prayers, because that is really my time with the Lord. When I take Dace out to the park at night, that is my time to wind down, read the Bible, pray, and just stay for as long as I want to, and as long as Dace is fine. We're out there for 2-3 hours at a time. It's just a time where I feel most rooted because I'm outside and I'm getting fresh air. So anyways, I'm praying. God is always sending me signs that he is listening to me and he hears my prayers. But I haven't asked for a sign in a while just because I don't like being that person. Like, I know he hears me and I know he's listening, so I don't need to ask for a sign, you know? Like, I just feel based on my faith, I have faith that he hears me and I know he hears me, so it just doesn't make much sense for me to ask for a sign that he hears me. But I was just like, I had a lot on my mind and I didn't want to keep repeating myself. I said everything that I wanted to say and I almost went to go repeat myself, and I'm like, no, Lord, like, I'm not going to babble. I believe you're listening. I know you heard my prayer. Please send me a sign though that you did hear my prayer and I don't have to keep repeating myself. And then I took it back and I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, I don't need a sign, but if you wanted to grant me a sign, I'm open to that. And so Kaylee and I have talked about this a lot just because this is like the majority of the topic that we always talk about, but like earth, the sky, and like the sun and the moon, and like we just love talking about that stuff. And like when we read the Bible together, we'll discuss whether or not like stars are fallen angels or whatnot. So we're really just like diving deep into learning like what the stars are in the Bible, if they are fallen angels and whatnot. And recently I came across a TikTok and it said to not wish upon a falling star, just because in general it's as if you are allowing that star to have more power over your life than you would allow God to have over your life, because if you're wishing for something else to grant you something, that's idolizing something before God. So to not wish upon a falling star is, I don't do that. Kaylee doesn't do it. That's a whole nother topic, but it goes into what I'm trying to say now. I'm laying on my car and Dace is just like down below me and he's playing with his ball. I'm like, okay, Lord, if you hear me, like, let me see a shooting star. Let me see a falling star. And I was like, oof, wait, no, never mind, because that's dangerous. What if the star lands somewhere and I don't know, or actually if it is a falling angel, don't let it be a falling star, never mind. Like I take that back. I was like, if you can like grant me like something else to where I would know that that is from you, I'll take it. It doesn't have to be a falling star, but that would be super cool if it's not dangerous. But if it is dangerous, then allow it to be a falling star. I was like still asking for a sign, but like not asking for a sign because he knows, I know. He knows. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I close out my prayer in Jesus' name. I'm just like laying there, like looking at the stars. I end up sitting up after like 10, 15 minutes of me being done with my prayer. I sit up, look down, and Dace is wanting me to throw his ball. So I throw his ball, I chuck it for him, and he comes back. And when he comes back, something flips up from underneath his foot. And I'm like, what the heck? And I like look at it, and then it like laid flat. And I looked at it more, and I'm like, stop. Stop right now. Stop. See, I've already told this story to you, but like, oh my gosh, I will be telling this story for the rest of my life. I am shook. When I tell you I'm shook, I am shook. Like I have goosebumps all over my body. I'm like basically paralyzed. Like I don't even know what to think. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, I'm looking at what I'm seeing and I'm like, there's absolutely no way God has this type of humor. Like there's just no way. Like, and I just start laughing and then I start crying. I took a picture of what it looked like when I saw it on the ground, so I'll insert that somewhere in here. And then I picked it up and I'm like, there is no way. There is no way, you guys. It's literally a star. I mean, you already saw it. It's literally a star, and I picked it up. And in the picture, you couldn't really see many stars in the background. Like, there wasn't many stars in the sky like I thought I remembered there being. And so I'm just like, do you see that? It's a star, and it's not a blue star or a red star or a pink. It's a yellow star. And a lot of people are gonna be like, well, that's just a coincidence, Brooke. Like, that means nothing. To be honest, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but this is what I believe. And so I'm just like, you cannot tell me God's not real. Like, or you can tell me all you want, but you can't convince me God's not real. Like, you just cannot do it. You cannot do it. That is unbelievable. That's not like I thought something was in my window. I told Kaylee, and Kaylee's whole body literally like covered in goosebumps. And she's like, no way. And she like picked it up and she's like we're both just absolutely stunned. I told her about it yesterday. You can't convince me God's not real. You just can't do it. I cried for the rest of the evening, happy tears, because I knew he was listening, and I asked for a sign, but then I took it back. Because like, I know he hears me. I know he's listening to my prayers. But sometimes, there's like that little voice, the enemy tries to creep in and be like, you really think he's listening? Whatever he's telling you. Anyways, we can get back to the video, but I really hope that this inspires somebody to just draw closer to God and just focus on building your relationship with him, because it's not as hard as people make it seem. It's not as strict as people make it seem. It's not as ruled as people make it seem. It's fun, it's freeing, it's peaceful, it's joyful, it's loving, it's caring, it's kind, it's so sincere and genuine. Like, God is so good, you guys. Like, he's just so good. I could go on and on and on and on about this, but I won't, because we got to get back to the video. So if you guys want more videos of me talking about my faith and how I've like been able to grow closer with God, please let me know, because I would love to just talk about it, because I will talk your ear off. Let's get back to the video. I believe God puts desires in our hearts for a reason. One of my desires has always to become a photographer and do YouTube. But when I tell you that this is not the way that I imagined myself doing YouTube, I mean, this is not the way I imagined myself doing YouTube. I remember wanting to do YouTube at a young age, maybe 13, give or take. And I just remember watching all of the vloggers, like going out, going to Coachella, going to festivals, just hanging out, going on little shopping sprees, or like going and hanging out at Starbucks. And I just remember like wanting to do that with my friends. And I had so many phones when I was younger, just because my phone storage would always get so full from taking all these photos and all of these videos of just random stuff. But the desire in my heart of being a YouTuber and the desire in my heart of being a photographer, it happened, but not in the way that I imagined.
Can I give you guys a hug?
Oh, I want to take a picture.
Hi.
And I was like, she would not be in a strap.
Hi.
This is awesome. Put this down.
Stop,
They're
that's
so
so
happy.
funny.
1, 2, 3. Got it. Oh my god.
Can you
I gotta
please
get the dog in
send
the
that to
picture.
me?
Hold on. Gotta
Okay.
get the dog in.
Hi.
Got it. Oh my gosh. Yes, they follow your story. So they made me stop over there. And
These cute little ones just came over and said hi. This is Braylee and this is Reagan. Got mom over here too. We've got Alyssa over here. They didn't believe that it was me sitting over here. Want to say anything? Like,
Subscribe.
subscribe. That's what they said.
So when you have a desire in your heart and you're wanting to put it into practice and you're wanting to make it happen, you really have to give it to the will of God, because your plans just might get interrupted. It might look a whole lot different than what you imagine, but that doesn't take away the dream that's been placed in your heart from God. So if you just needed a little reminder today, you are right where you're supposed to be. And comparing your journey and your story to somebody else it's not going to speed up yours any faster. If anything, it's going to slow it down, because you're going to be in a state of wondering why rather than appreciating what it is that you do have now. If you feel left behind, just know you're not. Society makes us think that we have to have X, Y, and Z by X, Y, and Z, and it's just not true. If I can encourage anybody here with anything that I've said, it's to just accept that what's meant to be will be, and the perfect timing is God's timing, and God's timing is perfect, and He's never late. If you happen to be like me, a person who doesn't like surprises, but yet walks boldly, yet unknowingly in our faith, and knowing God's timing is perfect, I think I might just enjoy this next surprise that He has for me. And I believe you will too.